push this button, and I'm going to push this button, and then I push this button right here, and we should be live. Hey, everybody.
Hey everybody, hey YouTube, what's going on? How's everybody doing today? It is Friday, Friday,
Friday,
Friday.
Friday, 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 Friday. Hey, it's the last
I
day of
had
the
this
month,
whole,
too.
yeah, I'm telling you. Hey, you know what?
Tell me what.
I was going to call the U.S. Embassy over there in Uganda this morning.
Yeah,
I got up in time to do it and everything. Had it
yeah,
all figured out. There's like 7 hours difference.
yeah.
They're closed on Fridays. They're open Monday through Thursday till 4:30.
That's the U.S. government for you.
I'm telling you, buddy. So I wasn't putting off what I had to do. I tried to do it, and it's just not being done. What you gonna do? You know, like, So yeah, and then I was gonna go crawl under the truck. It actually warmed up here today, so it's about, I don't know, it's probably low 60s. You know what I mean? But that feels warm when it's been 30.
Yes.
And so I was gonna crawl under the truck and start working on it. My old Sally, my old pickup. But I didn't get around to that either yet.
Old Sally.
Well, the weird thing is I've been in for so long inside that I forgot it starts getting dark about 5:30 now.
Yep.
So it's like, oh crap. So, yesterday I was sitting here and I was doing something and I had the battery charger on the battery on the truck because I haven't driven it in 6 months.
In a minute.
8 months. Yeah. And so I went outside and I was like, Gloria, it's dark. She's like, yeah, it gets dark now. I was like, oh.
No joke.
I just
That's
said it.
funny.
Yeah.
That's
funny. You know what I got?
What do you
I
got?
got a check from a company, from the wellness company. I got my first check.
Yay!
I put it in the bank. I even deposited it.
Good for you. Fantastic.
And I tried to sell the girl at the bank for it. I think she thought I was hitting on her, though. So I was like, hey, well, I was talking about it. I was like, you want my number? And I didn't even think about it like that.
Right.
She's got my damn phone number. She got my social security number, everything.
Right.
She got the bank, But I was like, oh, yeah, okay. So I think what I'm going to do with that money, yeah. I think what I'm going to do with it, though, is I'm going to take that money and I'm going to into one of the big gainers and losers thing, and I'm just going to take that money and throw it in there real quick and see if I make any money on it.
There you go.
On just something off the cuff that, that I know nothing about or anything,
Right.
I think it'd be a fun little experiment. Nothing. I mean, and the thing is, it wasn't very much money at all. I mean, no, you know what I mean? And so I'm kind of like, well, that might be fun to just see, and actually day trade it, like actually pay attention to it and day trade it,
Right.
and see something. I mean, if you turn $10 into $12, it's a hell of a gain.
There you go.
I mean, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? We'll see.
I understand completely. So, hey everybody, good to see everybody today. The thing about today is it is Friday. Now, that doesn't usually mean a whole lot to other people.
Nope.
Right. But for those of us who work for ourselves, we like Fridays just because it's a day that we can, grill a steak or go out to eat or just something with our family.
Yeah.
So Fridays usually tend to be fairly nice, and we like Fridays. So doesn't mean we're not going to work on the weekend, but it just means it's Friday. So that being said, I got a few Dadpreneur things to report. So first and foremost.
Oh yeah, what's it for, Clayton?
Oh, Clayton. He moved. He hid in the bathroom behind some towels, behind some hand towels, and was peeping around the corner. And Jerry got all freaked out because he was using the bathroom and realized that he was in there and that Clayton was watching him go to the bathroom, and he was really freaked out. He was like, and I'm like, but Clayton sees everything anyways, kind of like Santa Claus's eyeballs. He's like, oh, okay. So, yeah, that was kind of fun.
That's so weird, though. You got to think about it like,
fine.
An elf just sitting there with a stare on his face like, hey.
Hey.
It's like, ah!
Hey. So,
hey,
then,
Nick, a couple years ago for Christmas. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. What happened a couple years ago?
Oh,
I want to hear your elf story.
a couple years ago for Christmas, Nixon got one of those real dolls, like the ones that look like babies. And I'm like, it was in my house for about a week. And then it had to go to her mother's. I was like, no, this is just weird.
This thing is watching me.
It's just freaky. I don't like dolls. Dolls are weird.
Okay.
They're always watching you.
It's okay.
They're like those paintings where the eyes move. And
We still love you, Joe.
I'm sorry, I don't like dolls.
So,
I mean, I got like teddy bears and stuff that have like American flags on them. And I'm super patriotic too. I didn't know if anybody knew that. Like, I've got more red, white, and blue clothes than most people on the planet. I'm like, woo!
I got a red, white, and blue leather jacket.
Did I freeze? Oh, hey, see, there you go. Say USA on the back.
With the flag, American flag on it. Yep. So here's something I want to talk about real quick, because it's in the Dadpreneur category. My son brought his first report card home yesterday, and
awesome.
I was expecting A's, but we got principal's list. So I'm really excited about that. So I got to take him out for ice cream and Oreo cheesecake today. Yeah.
Oreo cheesecake.
Oreo cheesecake. That's what he wants. So that's what he's going to get. Additionally, we met with our attorney yesterday and met his business partner, and that was really cool. And his business partner is actually the one in their office, in their firm, that does the adoptions. So we signed all the paperwork and got everything started, and we are a go. So everything is in motion.
Oh, there's something I had to explain something to Gloria yesterday that she was kind of confused about. Okay. And you know how we're doing this Uganda Rising organization, and we're trying to raise money.
Confused about that today too, and I had to explain that to him today too. And now he thinks that Patty's one of the greatest people on earth, because I told him that Patty found out that they didn't even own the land they were squatting on, and he's like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and so we're doing this, and I was talking to Gloria, and I was like, "Well, the whole purpose of it is to try and get an orphanage built, to help out these kids and things like that." And I keep telling all the kids, my kids, I'm like, Dad, I'm pretty proud of myself. I can help get this done. I'm trying to build an orphanage, in Uganda. And like, none of them understood that I'm building an orphanage for my kids to go to Uganda.
Joe.
It's like, you want to go live in Uganda? I own an orphanage.
Mine hasn't got quite that bad yet.
I can get you in. We'll get you a spot.
Oh, Lord. So,
well, it's kind of like Patty asked me about the Face Punch website I built the other day, and I bought the domain name and everything, and okay, all right, and with Nixon, it's funny because and Chris touched on this yesterday. I think that I'm not like one of those like, hey, I love you and hugs all the time. I'm just not really like that a whole lot. And but like the way I express myself is by kidding around, and giving you a hard time and stuff. And so like with my daughters, they're not boys, and but yeah, they're girls. So I can't really like wrestle with them or anything, really, because that's just, I don't know, it'd be weird. But so I'm like, you know what you need? You need a face punch. Nixon's like, Dad, what's wrong? I'm like, what? She's like, you didn't tell me I needed a face punch. I'm like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. I love you. She's like, what? You mean face punch? I'm like, yeah, face punch.
Face punch.
They're like code word. Face punch.
Face punch.
Yeah. And then, but really the face punch thing was also, it's kind of a dual thing because, every time we get on Facebook, it used to kick us off all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's always screwing stuff up. So it's like a punch in the face. Mm-hmm. Just poof, like, damn it. Because, well, a lot of YouTube's been doing to me lately where it kicks me off.
Right.
It's like, I was going to say something. I'm not.
It's happening.
I guess a punch in the face is better than a kick.
But look, it's happening to a lot of people. And, I'm going to say something that's a little bit controversial here. And I don't want anybody to take it out of context. And I don't want anybody to label anything over it. It's just something that I'm going to say, and you can think about it. But you know, in America, we've become too free, and social media has allowed us, as well as our mobile devices, has allowed us to report and to share our opinions in ways that the powers that be may not be so happy with. So when something like Facebook malfunctions, or YouTube is malfunctioning, or any of the other social media giants, I tend to feel as if though we're just being reminded that we're just being allowed to share at this point, but we may be shut up at some point. So, I don't know how everybody feels about that, but this is what I know. Everybody has been taught, and this is not controversial or anything. This is just fact, y'all. Okay. My cousin works for the federal government. He's in the DOD. This guy wears a badge in his pocket and a blazer all the time, and all he has to do is this. He goes anywhere he wants to, whenever he wants to. Going places with him is awesome, okay? But he earned that, okay? He earned that. And here's what I want to say about these devices. We all love our phones, okay? They got us hooked on communication way back when a phone cost you X amount of cents per minute to call your neighbor next door, okay? Right. So now we pay a monthly fee. We have unlimited services. But do you really think it's about the phone? Now, see, they had to appeal to us as people, right? And so they appealed to our senses, and they appealed to the phone, right? And so they got us hooked on these phones. Let me tell you something. These phones are more for their use than ours, okay? Don't fool yourself. These things tell them everything we do, all right? Everywhere we are, they can ping this thing. They know what websites we go to. They know if you're naughty or nice, okay? They're better than any Santa Claus ever thought of being, okay? So remember that we're only allowed to use these things until they decide that we can't anymore, okay? Don't fool yourself.
Well, and that's, that kind of brings up an interesting thing. I'm not going to jump into a rabbit hole on this, but we're absolutely as free. I know, but we're absolutely as free as we're allowed to be.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's it. That's all there is to it. But let's take this into consideration. Let's say we lived in Uganda.
Oh, Lord.
No running water, no power all the time, no sewer system, none of this. There's no roads hardly. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, dude. I'll trade some of my, let's say, freedoms that I don't really miss. I mean, they tell me that there's certain drugs I can't do, and I can't do things that are immoral, basically. That's about it. And I got to pay taxes. You know what I mean?
Yes, don't forget
And so
that.
it's like, well, yeah, but at the same time, nobody's invading my country. No one's coming after me with a machete. You know what I mean? I can own guns. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's, I can go deer hunting if I want to. I can go fishing. I can go, you know what I mean? There's a lot of freedoms and a lot of things that are provided for us. Mm-hmm. And, okay, maybe it's at the extent of some personal freedoms, or like, it's kind of like, why do you have the right to tell me what I can do and what I can ingest and this, that, and the other? But, I mean, that's just about people wanting to get high. Come on. You know what I mean? That's a drug thing pretty much, and it's like, let's not try to legislate. Let's not bring that into the argument. You know what I mean? That's a dumb thing. But, okay, so they say, you know what, like, you can't hardly spank your kids. You can spank your kids. Parents, we all blow that out of proportion. You can't beat the hell out of them like you used to. You know what I mean? You can't just haul off and knock them across the room. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, sometimes you want to. You're a parent. I mean, that's just a given. Because you're like, God, just shut up. And we're all in that age bracket to where we probably got smacked a couple times if we really did something wrong. It wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean?
You didn't have to do anything wrong. What are you feeling?
Yeah, it's like, don't act up in a department store. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's not dad that's going to get you. It's mom. It's like, oh no, she's going to be crying. This hurts me worse than it hurts you. And you're like, you're a damn liar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're just like, I'll remember this shit. You're going to a nursing home. But, and the thing is, you kind of, it's a give and take, um, and just going into all the government stuff, why don't we have free healthcare? Why don't we have this? They have this over in France. They have this in Belgium. They have this in Spain. Guys, France, Belgium, and Spain all together aren't anywhere near the size of this country.
No.
Those countries are the size of states and actually smaller than quite a few of our states, and have less populations. So I'm not trying to be all pro government here, but giving everybody free healthcare in this country as opposed to doing it in Cuba, two different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or, France, two way different things. You know what I mean? It's just the population and the amount that would go into it. And we've gotten used to something. Like in Cuba, being a doctor is a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a whole different, it's a normal job kind of. It's not, you're not this super rich person. You know what I mean? You're not buying airplanes and helicopters. And here you have Bentleys, airplanes, and helicopters if you're a doctor. That's if you're any decent kind of doctor, really. You know what I mean? Like if you got a good bedside manner, you're making all kinds of money. You know what I mean? If you can talk to people, woo, boy. I mean, best network marketers on the planet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Oh, my doctor told me this is good. There you go. You know what I mean? That's a good idea, Chris. We need to look into that. We should put doctor in front of our names.
Doctor. Yeah.
I'm not above lying. Yeah. I'll just tell you that right now.
All right. Let's jump back on that horse and get out of that rabbit hole.
Was that a rabbit hole? Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
You guys know as well as we know, we're just talking freedoms here, okay? And we have the freedom of speech. We're a lot freer than and here's something else that I want to say, okay, you can look at both sides of the coin, okay? There are a lot of people that say we're not as free as we used to be. Well, that may well be very true, okay? That may well be very true. However, I'm grateful to be as free as I am. So, with that being said, I can run my own business. I can be anything I want to be. Yeah. Nothing's holding me down. I could go where I want to go. I'm free to leave the country. I'm free to come back to the country. There are a lot of things that people overlook just because we, feel as if though a right has been infringed on or our toe has been stepped on or our papa could have just squatted on the land and put up a rope around it and said, hey, this here is mine. I'm going to farm this piece, okay? So, we can't do that anymore, but you know what? It's okay. We have to have rules. We have to have guidelines. And so that brings me to our business topic for today, which is guidelines and rules. If you're watching this and or grabbing the replay and you're a whiner, I want you to know that you got no business whining, okay? And I don't mean the kind of whiner that you pour it out of a jar into a cup and drink it. I'm talking about the kind that I need to order a cheese platter for, all right? Now, what I mean by that is if you are paying attention and watching the things that are going on and doing stuff in this space, you've heard so many times when people get ripped off or taken advantage of, well, there's no rules and regulations. There's no way to protect the people. There's no this, there's no that. Well, that was kind of what decentralization was all supposed to be about, okay? So now there's been so much of it and there's been so much theft that the SEC and the FTC, they're stepping in and they're going, you know what? We got to do something. We got to start looking into this stuff. And there's been a lot of SEC activity in 2018. A lot. Okay? Now, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? I'm not going to say it's good or bad. What I'm going to say is it is a necessity. Why is it a necessity? Well, because if you want to be protected, if you want to feel like you have confidence, if you want to feel like you can't be taken advantage of, then there's going to have to be some rules and regulations put in place. Well, who's going to do that? The SEC is going to do that. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, government got one of them there government jobs. So what I'm going to say about that is you can't have it both ways, y'all. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It just doesn't work that way. Okay. So stop moaning, stop complaining, stop acting crazy. Okay. And let happen whatever is going to happen. Now, that being said, make sure that you are very careful, okay, and you do your due diligence if you're going to use an exchange, you're going to participate in an ICO or a token, you're going to mine, you're going to use any type of info to trade with, you're going to use any type of artificial intelligence. What I'm going to tell you is if you can't get some good advice from a good attorney, then you need to wait until you can, okay, because some things are about to change. The wild, wild west is about to be over, all right? Now, I'm not trying to be a prophet here. I'm just trying to share a little bit of knowledge that's been passed along to me. And, I don't want to see anybody taken advantage of or hurt. There's been way too much of that in this industry. And there's been way too much of that in crypto. So, Joe,
now,
you got something on that, brother?
Yeah, I want to tie into that too. With that information that Chris is talking about, it'll be made more public soon. It's just one of those things where if you've got the inside track on some things, you got the inside track on some things. That's it. You know what I mean? But you there's a lot of stuff going into ICOs right now because a lot of things were done wrong because they were deemed securities. Okay, so you need. And some of it can be as simple as filling out a piece of paper. It's an application you fill out online. It's not a big deal. But what the SEC is doing with a lot of these companies is now a lot of them are getting levied like $250,000 fines, but they've made $30 million. You know what I mean? So that's not even a drop in the bucket. You know what I mean? They're being real nice about it. They're not shutting them down, and they could. They're not pressing charges on them. You know what I mean? They're like, look, we made this law, and we told you guys this, and for the last 3 months, you continue to do it. Well, we didn't know it was a law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. It truly isn't. And that's the thing. It's like, if you didn't know, if you were running an ICO and you didn't know that the SEC just made a law, you couldn't be in the space and not know it. It's all over the place. You know what I mean? Some Bitcoin's not a security. You know what I mean? They've said that, plain and simple. But when you're raising money for something that's going into a company, selling it like a stock, if the person thinks they're going to get something back from it, a passive source of income from it, passive residual, okay, then it's a security, plain and simple. So now I'm going to go this a little further. So the ICO is going to go the way of the dodo bird, okay?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. But don't fear, but don't worry, everybody. That's okay. What replaces the ICO is 3 other letters called an STO. So it's a securities trading option. Okay? Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Same thing as an ICO, guys. It's just legal. Okay?
Right.
Now, nobody's breaking them out yet because they haven't made anybody. There's a couple out there, but there's a couple. You know what I mean? In a space where there's thousands of things being boom. And a lot of these things are in progress right now are going to be switched over. All my crap that I do, it's going to have to get switched over to STOs. Real simple. You know what I mean? But that's not a big deal. It's not near the thing. And this is the thing that's going to scare a lot of people off. And in a way, that's good. Because that gets a lot of the idiot players out of the game. The people that don't want to invest in it. You know what I mean? That aren't going, hey, all right. You know what I mean? It's not, hey, I'm going to start, the Sunshine token, and I want to get to be worth $1 million a token, and it'll be great every time the sun shines. You know what I mean? So what are you going to do with it? Make the sun shine.
Do with it?
Like, oh, okay. Let's just call that the God token then. I mean, we got Jesus coin already.
Joe, and everything you said is dead on. I hesitated to say anything about this because it always ruffles people's feathers. But if we know something and we don't share it, we're as guilty or guiltier than the person who's at fault, right? So, Joe, you there or did you lose you? I'll be John Brown. Lord, we lost him again. Ding dang. So anyway, we're at our 236 mark anyway, guys and gals. Everything that Joe said is true. You can do your own research. I encourage everyone to do their own research and due diligence. And absolutely, at any point in time, if we ever say anything that you guys find out to be different or changed since we learned, because things change rapidly, by all means, let us know. We're not the know it all, be it all people. Okay, so we love you guys. We thank you guys for coming. We're going to get back to you guys. Joe's going to do the live tomorrow. I may or may not appear as a guest tomorrow. It will be on Facebook. I'm going to be doing some Dadpreneur stuff and spending some time with family. Christmas shopping tomorrow. So I may or may not be on the live. But what I do know is I will be in each and every one of your hearts, and you will be in mine. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.